presentation of TFNN. The Tom O'Brien Show is produced every business day. Tom takes your phone calls toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-873-7618.
Let's go to Phil in Puerto Rico. Hey, Phil, what's going on?
Hey, Tom, doing great. Just wanted to thank you guys and the whole crew. Best content on the internet. Really appreciate everything you guys are doing.
We appreciate you growling and prowling with us out here. Phil, how did you find us?
I just typed in live trading in YouTube one morning.
Cool.
I was looking for any type of live trading room. You guys came up, and
awesome.
I know quality when I see it, or at least I like to think so. And I mean, you guys are just a dream. I appreciate everything you guys do.
Welcome to the Tiger family. We appreciate you growling and prowling with us.
My pleasure.
Now, Tom O'Brien.
What's going on, everybody? This is Jacob Shoup. You're watching the Tom O'Brien Show. Man, we have a good show in store for you today. Of course, we're going to be joined by Tim Ord. And I mean, on that note, take a look at this gold contract, right? I mean, what a move to the upside right now, up 1.83%, 2,844. And you're finally getting to see some movement in the miners as well. You have AEM up 4.85%. Let's take a look at that GDX, the VanEck Gold Miners ETF, up 4.34. And then our boys over at Vista Gold right now up 10.47%. That was a Tom favorite. Vista Gold was, of course. We've had Fred Ernest, the CEO, on multiple times here for the Tom O'Brien Show. If you want to check out any of those archives, you go visit us at YouTube, Tiger Financial News Network, and just type in Fred Ernest into the bar, and you will find us. I mean, this is pretty neat. Some decent volume, too, right? This has been a little bit embattled recently. You had a high of 82 cents last year in October, and we've slowly just kind of burned down. You had a high volume move right here around November 14th, and kind of so on, right? Massive wick, kind of the upside here again on some big volume, a lot of selling. It's been somewhat volatile, right? But it seems like kind of breaking out a little bit. This is nice. What we're really looking for, and this is cool, but a meaningful move in silver miners as well. Of course, the silver contract is up 3.65%. But if you're not getting some, the moves in silver can oftentimes kind of confirm the moves in gold as well. And so be interesting to see how the miners of silver do. Let's see right now. We got SPY up 0.68%, Composite up 0.43%, Dow Jones Industrial up about 0.6% at 44,983. Looks like we might soon crack that 45,000. And the Russell, man, this is awesome. I got to figure out what that leveraged ETF was with the Russell. I think it's a URTY, perhaps. Let's check it out here. Man, I've been loving these things, these leveraged ETFs. I did, at the end of the day, get into TSLZ. Now, thankfully, I sold before this. I was up about 10%. This Tesla earnings, this is insane to me. I'm almost near just not even talking about this equity anymore. Because, and I've said it multiple times. I mean, this is like meme stocked almost, right? It is disconnected entirely from fundamentals. Of course, you can say it's a growth company or it's an AI company, and that's fine or whatever. But, I mean, as it stands now, they are a vehicle company. That's where they get a majority of their revenue from. And of course, they're building out, what are they calling it? Cortex, 50,000 H100 GPU clusters. And but they are still using that just to manage their unsupervised full self-driving, okay? So you're up 4.33% today. This morning, when I had gotten in, let's see here, you obviously had some major movement to the upside aftermarket. So earnings comes out, right? Dumps entirely. You have, inexplicably, it's just some, I don't know if some kind of buy point was triggered or something with the dip, but I mean, it shot up pretty strong. You're up at 412 right at open, and it just dumps throughout the day, right? Now, I had really anticipated this continuing to have some exuberance to the upside throughout the day. I was going to add more to the leverage bear position. When it started dumping like this, I was like, okay, man, I don't know. that gave me some pause. I got out with a profit. It was okay. I didn't really have a lot of money in it. Whatever. I just wanted to at least have some dog in the fight there. I had a low of 384.41, and then we have slowly just climbed throughout the day, and now we're up 4.29% at 405.86. I don't know how funds can justify Tesla now, right? I mean, you're at 1.3 trillion. I was not in any way impressed with the earnings, and I definitely was not thrilled with the call either. And again, I want to clarify too, because this gets a little bit heated. I am not like a Trump hater or anything, or excuse me, a Trump hater. I'm not like a Musk hater or anything like that. I think SpaceX is cool. I think if SpaceX were public, I would probably own some of that, just depending, because I think it's very neat and it is legit what they're doing in a major way. But Tesla, I mean, you have decreasing revenues there. Of course, your energy storage was up. That was nice. I mean, it's comprising a little bit above 10% of total revenues. Give me a second. I just want to get the actual report up here. Yes, you had total automotive revenues in Q4 was about 19 billion. You're off 8% year over year. The energy generation and storage is up 113%, but I think that's a little bit dependent on outside factors. It's kind of tough. And then services and other revenue, a 31% increase is fine, right? But I mean, we're talking about, a total revenue, at least in Q4 of 25 billion, 77, let's see here. What are we at here? Yeah, 97.6 billion total revenue for 2024. That is a 1% increase. And we're talking about, and that's just revenue, and we're talking about a market cap here of 1.3 trillion. What I think bothered me, again, was him constantly talking like, hey, in June, we're going to get this out. We're going to have the full unsupervised self-driving. And, that's fine. But, I'm even if it does work, right, what is the regulatory kind of runway to get that to be operated throughout this country, right? I mean, I look at Waymo. I think it's only a $45 billion kind of valuation right now. Okay, so I mean, how long does it take to ramp any value if you actually do get something like, the robo-taxi, passed and everyone can use it, and Uber starts developing, or whatever it might be, or Tesla develops an app and you can order these things. I think there's still a long, kind of legal journey for that. Now, obviously, he has some favor with this administration, so the regulatory kind of conditions are a little bit beneficial for that, but I still don't think that gets us to 1.3 trillion anytime soon. I don't think, an 111 PE kind of makes sense right now with it. And what bothered me the most was him talking about Optimus, right? And the reason why it bothered me is because I feel like he kind of does this sometimes, where like things are not so good, and he keeps promising these insane kind of moves. And he's like, Optimus, this is going to have revenues of $10 trillion. I know that sounds, quote, bananas, but it's going to happen. It's like, geez, man. Like, what are you even supposed to say to that? I don't know. I'm surprised this is up right now. Be careful shorting Tesla. That's kind of the moral of the story. So right there, folks, we'll be right back with Tim Ord right after this break.
If you spend any time online researching trading techniques on how to begin your trading journey, you've no doubt come across many folks who push Forex trading as a way to make big money quickly. Unfortunately, there are equally as many stories of these so-called Forex professionals just looking to make a quick buck off aspiring traders without actually teaching the ins and outs of the Forex market. This is what sets Teddy Keckstack's The Tiger Forex Report off the riffraff. Every Monday, former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member and author Teddy Keckstack releases his Tiger Forex Report newsletter, where he dives into the complex world of Forex and takes time to actually teach you his methods that have made him so successful in the fast-paced and rewarding world of Forex trading. Furthermore, all subscribers receive access to archived live streams of Teddy's, where he provides university-level education to help you in Forex trading. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So what are you waiting for? Forex awaits.
The reality is that navigating financial markets can be risky. Markets can be chaotic and difficult to understand. Having the latest market advice can help you turn this chaos into a key for creating winning trades. At TFNN, we understand that it can be hard to find reliable market news. That's why each of our market experts offers their very own market newsletter, a must-have tool for every trader out there striving to find an edge in today's markets. TFNN newsletters cover every aspect of the markets so you can analyze the market before you trade. Try any of our great newsletters risk-free with our 30-day money-back guarantee. Just visit the Newsletters tab on the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
Are you ready to take charge of your financial future? TFNN is your gateway to the world of trading and investing. Whether you're starting out or scaling up, TFNN empowers traders and investors of all skill levels with top-notch investing systems, strategies, and techniques. It's time to protect and grow your money with insight you can trust. Join us live Monday through Friday during market hours for exclusive content that moves with the markets. At TFNN, we bring the trading floor to you. Our seasoned hosts are here to answer your calls and questions live on the air. Check out the Tiger's Den for just $1 and follow us on YouTube and become part of our vibrant community. And remember, at TFNN, we're so confident in the value we provide that we offer a 30-day money-back guarantee on all new premium newsletter subscriptions and services. You have absolutely nothing to risk, so why wait? Tune in live to Tiger TV and transform your trading journey, because when you know better, you invest better. Join us and experience the difference today. TFNN, educating investors.
Okay, welcome back, everybody. We're going to get Tim Ord on the line here in a moment. There is some interesting news that came out earlier. This is from Shenzhen MSU BIT University. Okay, let's talk about it a little bit, right? I, right now, am just kind of neutral on NVIDIA. If you kind of listen to what Meta was saying, we're going to talk about that a little bit more as well. I think that was super bullish for data center stocks. So my picks with TSSI have done quite well today. Nebius is doing well, although it's not really data center, it's more compute, but for some reason it's getting lumped into that. But so that's fantastic. They're spending the same amount of capex. They're anticipating spending more capex in the years to come on data centers, which I think is phenomenal. So, and my point in saying this, what Meta was saying is that they're going to increase their ASIC development with Broadcom, and that is really massive. And we might be seeing this inflection point start right now, at least some sparks of it. You have Broadcom up 5.27%. I mean, okay, Broadcom's, oh wow, hey, there you go. Just hit $1 trillion. We were under about 980 billion for quite a while. This is at least, $1 trillion. I mean, come on, if Tesla is 1.3 trillion, I mean, Broadcom has a way more predictable path to success than Tesla does, in my opinion. ASICs are going to be so important, and I want to hammer the table when I'm saying that, right? And the GPUs, of course, will be as well, and they're going to be used in inference, and machine learning is going to continue. But these ASICs for these specialized tasks, right? I mean, these are niche. They're going to be very expensive. We're going to need a lot of them, right, to kind of just sustain this whole ecosystem that's going to be built out. So I'm long-term bullish on Broadcom with this. This is trading up 5.3% today at 217. I mean, we're not even close to filling the gap either. I'm pretty sure that was made from DeepSeek. I mean, check it, right? I mean, you're trading out like, nearly 250 before this massive gap down, which again, I think is certainly overstated in a lot of ways now. But what I will say is kind of not overstated is this study from Shenzhen. And of course, this needs to be validated, okay? But this makes me almost feel a little bit bearish on NVIDIA, and I still wouldn't take actually a position in any capacity. If any position they're gonna take in chips, it would be Broadcom. But so the headline is the Chinese algorithm boosts GPU performance 800 times in scientific computing. So researchers at Shenzhen MSU BIT University have developed a new algorithm that reportedly enhances NVIDIA GPU performance by 800 times in scientific computing. The breakthrough optimizes peridynamics, a non-local physics theory used to model cracks, damage, and fractures, making complex simulations in aerospace, military, engineering far more efficient. The algorithm allows low-cost, widely available GPUs to handle high-performance compute tasks, potentially bypassing U.S. sanctions on advanced chips. You know, if they're going to do that, obviously American companies are clearly going to do that. And again, like, I mean, this is not something that hits us out of left field. I mean, this is what Jensen Huang was saying, right? Like, we cannot add any more transistors. We're kind of reaching like a physical limit. So we need the software and the infrastructure to be better, right? And the Chinese are just kind of showing, at least right now, how that should be done. And again, probably be verified by people over here. Obviously, DeepSeek was, I believe, partly intentionally disruptive, even though I think there was some legit insights from it, of course. But I believe that $6 million mark was, you know, I mean, there was a reason they said that, right? I mean, of course, it didn't cost $6 million to develop their own model out of nothing, right? So anyways, that's where I'm at with NVIDIA. Definitely check that out. If true, you know, you have to see how the super advanced guys, of course, will buy Blackwell, right? But now you're creating this strata where I can buy these really low compute old NVIDIA GPUs as a company, like for my own purposes, let's say, and I'll just run it this way. Right now, again, some more data needs to come out to see if that's really going to affect them in a major way. And of course, the demand for GPUs, even really high-end ones like Blackwell, of course, will still be high, right? But there's a lot of uncertainty right now, which kind of gives me this kind of neutral to wanting to find something bearish with NVIDIA. Anyways, folks, let's move on. Every Thursday, and Tuesday, actually, for that matter, we are joined by Tim Ord of the Ord Oracle. Now, you can go and check out Tim at the ord-oracle.com. Check out his newsletter, check out his book, check out his results. They do not lie, and we go over mainly the SPY and gold, and I'm really looking forward today to hearing from Tim about gold, because, of course, we've had some nice move, not only just in the contract, but in the miners as well, which is really what we've been waiting for. Tim, can you hear me?
I sure can. So
let's dive into it.
Can you hear me?
I can. Sound loud and clear. I'm looking forward to diving into this here.
All right. It's just this was kind of a repeat. There's nothing has really changed dramatically since we got the bicycle here on Monday. It's just kind of a repeat. There's a reason why I'm kind of bullish on intermediate term, so it's kind of a review. But chart one, there's two indicators. One's kind of short term, which is the bottom window, and one's kind of longer term, which is the top window. The bottom window is the advanced decline with the 5-day average. And anyhow, this produces a bullish signal, at least on a short-term basis, that can last several weeks, if not longer. And anyhow, it's a 5-day average, advanced decline. Anyhow, it gets below 0.7 is the critical area for a bottom. Then it has to rally to 3 or higher within 30 days. This whole process, last time we got this signal, it got down below 0.7 on January 13th and rallied to 3.27 on January 21st, which is only 6 days, well below the 30 days. So it was kind of a powerful rally on a short-term basis.
Sure.
And I marked the previous ones going back over the last couple of years, shaded in pink there. So they all came at bottoms, and they all produced decent rallies, some better than others, but it was a bottom-forming pattern. At the top window is the McCollum oscillator. It's kind of a complicated formula. Sherman McCollum made this, I don't know, back in the 70s. But it's a good, it has an advanced decline in it. And anyhow, the trigger is when it falls below or minus 300 and rallies to plus 200 within 30 days, it's a bullish intermediate term sign. And these triggers can last multi-months.
Okay.
And one was formed, we got one here on January 21st, signaling that this is a multi-month rally. So you got a short-term and an intermediate-term rallies going here. So let's flip to chart 2.
Okay.
And
got it up right now.
And Yeah, okay, this chart. Anyhow, it's a Zwag breast thrust indicator, and it's what it is, advanced decline, or advanced issues over total issues. You take a 10-day average, and you get the signal when it drops below 0.4 and rallies to 0.6 within 10 days. And the last signal came in 6 days. So it's another type of signals. And it said Zwag breast thrust indicator only happens in bull markets. So looks like it could be a bull market. And when they do occur, they usually become support. So the worst case scenario right now is about 5,800. So, all right, I heard the music.
Oh, yeah,
so.
Tim, please stay right there. Folks, we'll be right back with Tim Ord right after this break.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the opening call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
Steve Rhodes started his trading career as a student almost 20 years ago, and the student has now become the master. Steve won the prestigious Timer of the Year award in 2018 and barely missed that mark again in 2019, finishing at number 2 for the year. An amazing accomplishment. Steve Rhodes is committed to sharing his techniques and knowledge with anyone who wants to learn, and he shares his vast amount of trading knowledge every day in his Mastering Probability newsletter. Steve's award-winning newsletter, Mastering Probability, is delivered every trading day with updates throughout the afternoon. Sign up for Steve's market newsletter, Mastering Probability, and you'll receive access to 7 of Steve's educational webinars absolutely free. At TFNN, all our newsletters come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have absolutely nothing to worry about. Visit TFNN.com and try Mastering Probability 30 days risk-free today. TFNN, educating investors.
This year has already been a wild ride for the market. We started off heavily in the red, and now it seems like we may be traversing back to all-time highs. In short, this market has been a whiplash and requires constant pivoting. Where does the market go next? Should I add to this position or cut my losses? Where is the next opportunity? Analysis paralysis. Don't become a victim of this intense market. Instead, join Larry Pesavento for the second and fourth Friday of every month for 4 hours of live trading. Larry's been through many markets just like this one, and his insights are invaluable. The next event is this Friday, January 24th from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. Eastern. If you subscribe today, you'll also be able to attend his session February 8th. Get in here and let's start trading. TFNN, educating investors.
This portion of the Tom O'Brien Show is brought to you by Direxion's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the direction. Visit Direxion.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day. Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risk, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at Direxion.com. Read carefully. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Welcome back, everybody. This is Jacob Shoup. You're watching the Tom O'Brien Show. We are joined right now by Tim Ord of the Ord Oracle. You can go check out his website at ord-oracle.com. Additionally, you go to TFNN.com, go over to the services tab. Right here, we have 2 fantastic webinars from Tim Ord. That is the secret science of market tops and 6 secret ratios every trader should know. Tim, before we went to the break, we were looking at chart 2 with the Zwag breadth thrust indicator.
Right. Okay, so we got 2 kind of advanced declines, volume type indicators that are giving bullish signs intermediate term. So let's kind of look on chart 3, kind of where we are right now. And what markets, the only way markets bottom is on panic. So if you see panic, you're going into a bottom. If you don't see panic, it's going to keep going down until you do find panic. And I use the trend to find where the panic is. And also volume's actually a good help too, but ideally you like to see climatic volume along with a high trend reading. And if you get that combination, it's usually a good sign that you're looking at a low. If you look at the volume chart, which is second window up, I marked out the previous selling climax is what you call them. That's when volume jumps close to 100% compared to the previous days. Mm-hmm. And if you notice, on Monday, we had one of those days. We had a climatic volume. And on that day, if you go up to the chart, or the candlestick chart there, I marked in blue the trend closed at 1.19, which is panic in the trend, what I consider panic in the trend. And we had a closing tick of 448 down tick readings. So the market kind of just threw up at that day. So we got panic in the volume, you got panic in the ticks, and you got panic in the trend. So that's where that's where I went along. And so how high is high? Don't know. Could this be a trend that's already seen its bottom is going to keep going up? Maybe. But a lot of times selling climaxes, if you look at if you go back down to the volume chart, if you look at the one back in November of last year, that selling climax was tested. If you look at the candlestick chart, and it also was tested back in that December low where you had a selling climax. Not all of them are tested, and it's starting to look like this one probably won't be tested. Either way, test or no test, as long as that selling climax is tested on a lighter volume, which is pretty lightly, it's going to keep the bullish scenario. So I notice right now that the S&Ps are starting to break above the previous highs we had a couple of days ago. So there's starting to be evidence that probably we're not going to go back down and retest Monday's low. Okay. If you go down to the bottom there, that's the VIX. And the VIX is kind of confirming that. The VIX is, when I made this chart, the S&Ps was below its previous high of 2 days ago, where the VIX was making a new low. That's a bullish divergence on a short-term basis, suggesting that this today's high may keep going. Mm-hmm. And so far it is. We're starting to break a little bit higher, not a lot, but my opinion, we're probably seeing the low and we're starting another uptrend. So, and it could go on for a while because seasonality actually turns bullish today. So seasonality can be off a couple of days either way. But we're heading into a weekend here too. So if we hold the high, if we hold in this vicinity all into Friday, chances are Monday was the bottom, and the market's just going to keep going. So it looks pretty good. So anyhow, I'm staying long. There's enough evidence for me to hold this position.
Fantastic.
So anyhow, looks good. We can go to gold chart.
Very much looking forward to hearing about it because we're finally getting some action right now in the miners. Before you came on, Tim, I was looking at, we had VGZ, I think it was up like 10% or something like that. GDX was up roughly for AEM. So the miners are making some moves today, which is really fantastic.
Yeah. We'll kind of, we'll look at the bigger chart. We'll look at the smaller chart. But anyhow, chart number 4 is, you keep seeing this chart. This is a reminder that the monthly charts rule the weekly charts, the weekly rule the dailies is on all the way down. So as long as the monthly charts remain bullish, you really should lean on the bullish side. And the bottom chart is the up-down cumulative up-down volume on the monthly chart with the Bollinger Band. The next window higher is the cumulative advanced decline with the Bollinger Band. As long as those two indicators hold above their mid-Bollinger Band, the uptrend's intact. If you notice over the last couple of days here, both those indicators have turned up, suggesting the rally was starting. So that's quite a bit of information on the monthly chart. So monthlies are bullish. This is a couple of different buy signals I got created here. Chart number 5 is the bullish percent index for the gold miners index / GDX. Now it's another ratio, and it gave a buy signal back on January 10th of this year. So a couple of, about three weeks ago, as the RSI got down below 2368 and turned up. So that was a buy signal basically on January 10th. And I like to do multiple buy signals, different methods. And the next method is this is a weekly, it's a weekly cumulative advance, or weekly inflation deflation ratio. RSI got below 30 and turned up, and I think this came right around that January 10th time frames too. So I had a confidence of 2 different indicators giving me quite a bit of confidence that the next rally is about to begin.
Okay.
And a lot of these rallies, especially on the weekly time frames, are multi-month. So I think we're probably going to rally all the way into, my opinion, probably July. That may change. It may not last quite that long, but it looks pretty good. This is probably going to be a multi-month rally. So, and actually on Tuesday, I flipped to chart 7.
Yep.
Tuesday, where we're talking about both those bottom indicators, which is the 18-day average up-down volume, next window higher is the 18-day average advanced decline. And both those indicators were making higher highs as GDX, this is actually, GDX was making a lower high at that time, which I draw a blue arrow across those previous highs. And I was saying that we're probably going to break above new highs here pretty quickly. And here we go. So, and both those indicators are above -10. That suggests as long as those 2 indicators hold above 10, which is that green area across the chart, the uptrend's intact. So we like to also see a sign of strength above a previous high, and that's actually what's happening today. So now the previous high will be support. So we're heading higher. We're probably going to hit new highs. And I think this market in general is probably rally into more or less into July before we get some sort of another consolidation phase. So it looks pretty good for the next multi-months.
Fantastic. Well, Tim, I really appreciate you coming on. I guess we'll see you next Tuesday. I'm thinking we're going to get some moves in the gold pretty consistently as well. So thank you so much for joining us, Tim.
All right. See you next Tuesday. Thanks a lot for having me on.
Absolutely, Tim. Folks, stay right there. We'll be right back.
If you're looking for potential trading setups in the stock market, then Rocket Equities and Options Report is a newsletter you should try. Tommy O'Brien delivers options and equity trades when the markets present them, using a combination of fundamentals and technicals. Sign up for Rocket Equities and Options Report today with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. For all the details and to start your subscription today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors. For traders who crave risk, Direxion's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs provide opportunities to magnify short-term perspectives with up to 3 times a daily leverage, utilize bull and bear funds from both sides of the trade, and trade through rapidly changing markets. These are highly leveraged ETFs with daily resetting designed for short-term trading, not long-term investing. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the Direxion. For up-to-date pricing and performance, go to Direxion.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day. Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risk, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at Direxion.com. Read carefully. Distributor Foresight Fund Services, LLC.
The reality is that navigating financial markets can be risky. Markets can be chaotic and difficult to understand. Having the latest market advice can help you turn this chaos into a key for creating winning trades. At TFNN, we understand that it can be hard to find reliable market news. That's why each of our market experts offers their very own market newsletter, a must-have tool for every trader out there striving to find an edge in today's markets. TFNN newsletters cover every aspect of the markets so you can analyze the market before you trade. Try any of our great newsletters risk-free with our 30-day money-back guarantee. Just visit the Newsletters tab on the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
TFNN has launched The Tiger's Den, hosted at Discord. TFNN has been educating traders for more than 20 years with live programming hosted by a variety of professional traders during market hours. The Tiger's Den, available to all tigers and tigresses for just $1 for the year. There's no catch or added costs when you join our community of traders. Sign up today and become a part of this educational community of traders. Just visit the front page of TFNN.com.
This program is brought to you by Vista Gold, traded on the NYSE American and TSX under the symbol VGZ.
Tom O'Brien.
Welcome back, everybody. We're just joined by Tim Ord of the Ord Oracle. We're looking at gold, looking at the SPX in general. Some interesting stuff. Take a look at VGZ right now. Again, this was Tom's one of his favorites. You're 9.27% on some okay volume right now for the day. Of course, you're off from the highs of it, but honestly, the body's pretty long, and that's nice to see. What was that high right there? It was 67. I mean, we're not too far off from that at all. Okay, so this is interesting with gold, and I'm going to shout out Z in the Den. Thank you for... Guys, get in the den. I mean, I can't stress this enough. All you have to do is go to TFNN.com. Okay, just go to services. Get in there. It's $1 a year. We do that just to make sure everyone's safe. We know who's in the den, step by step. But Z is always posting just great data, right? And he was posting something about gold, basically demonetizing gold. This is kind of interesting. So I looked it up a little bit more because was not familiar with this even slightly. This is section 210. This is remonetizing the Treasury's gold. This is the financial accounting manual of the Federal Reserve Bank, section 210. The first paragraph of 210 reads, the Secretary of the Treasury is authorized to issue gold certificates to the reserve banks to monetize gold held by the U.S. Department of the Treasury. At any time, the Treasury may reacquire the gold certificates by demonetizing the gold. So you get this guy, Luke Groman. Seems like he's a Forex analyst. Okay, speaking on the financial networks, he said that the Fed had 260 million ounces of gold, and if the dollar were revalued unilaterally vis-a-vis gold, such as what FDR did in 33 or Nixon in 71, and he gives a figure of like, he said 20,000 an ounce, but who knows what it could be. For every $4,000 increase in gold, $1 trillion could be created from that. So in theory, you know, you can kind of reduce the debt number down by this and then keep spending, which we know Trump wants to spend. This is super interesting. Strongly recommend reading more on this. Now, this is the first time I'm coming in contact with this kind of concept, so I'm definitely going to read a little bit more once I get off the show today. But of course, we're going to keep moving on with the show. But something kind of interesting to think about there. You have, again, Vista Gold up 8.44%. Definitely, we're looking forward to getting Fred Ernest back on here. He always has some really good insights in it. And it's amazing to be able, you know, Tom used to, back in the day, I mean, before I obviously even worked here, and probably when I was still in grade school, would interview a lot of these gold CEOs. And so what you can do on our YouTube channel is sort our videos by date, and you can go to like the, you know, past to future, like most recent to furthest back. You can kind of edit that search result, and you can see all the videos back from, I don't even know, 2012 or whatever it might be. And there are a ton of really awesome videos from Tom there, interviewing these kind of gold CEOs. And it's actually kind of cool. It's really cool. He interviewed like John Bolton or something like that. I remember bringing it up to him He's like, oh yeah. And I'm like, what do you mean, oh yeah? Like, that's kind of a crazy person to interview. I mean, that's a high profile guy. Anyways, strongly recommend checking that out at the end of programming today, because this is kind of cool to see all that. All right, anyways, SPY up about 0.13% at 602.50. Composite off about 0.10% at 19,614. Okay, you get the Dow Jones Industrial coming off a little bit, right? We're at 44,703. Again, we are trying to get so close to that all-time high there in the Dow, right? At that 45,073. Crude oil up about 0.66% at 73.11. What else we got going on? Tesla's coming down a little bit. This is fascinating. I could see really, a time where you shoot this up, right? And it's almost like a bull trap, right? Because I can't reckon that these large funds think this is a good thing to have. And who knows? I mean, listen, maybe robo-taxi does hit it off and the regulatory journey isn't bad. But how do you even price something like that really in right now when your closest kind of analog that's operative, being Waymo, is at 45 billion, right? Anyways, kind of interesting. You have UZ moving up in a big way, up 10.44%. And then let's talk about Big Bear just for a moment. They got an IDIQ contract, which is pretty solid. But what I will say with Big Bear, and I know you can get some pushback from this sometimes, but just check again. You have so much insider selling in this stock. I love the idea of edge AI compute. This is so massive, and there's companies I'm going to look at for that. Actually, really what I want to do is sit down and look for some OT or SCADA SEC companies that are going to either implement, okay, I say SEC, yes, either security or implement AI on the edge like that for operational technology. The reason I say SEC is there's actually a massive hole right now in OT. I have a friend who works for a very large automation company. It's in the S&P 500. And him and I will talk sometimes because we both study networking and security. And so we'll do it in tandem sometimes, just kind of discuss different topics. And, we were looking at, obviously he wasn't sharing sensitive information about his company, but looking at OT, right? Like just standards in the industry and how the security layers work there. And there's really, honestly, not a lot of good ones. It's actually a pretty big blind spot. And the more implementation of kind of automated or, let's say autonomous kind of just edge pieces in the network, we've spoken about a lot. I mean, edge computer, edge, how do you say it? Like, like your kind of like single use technologies, your single use pieces on the edge of the network are extremely vulnerable, right? Like your edge IoTs, all that kind of stuff. So it'll be interesting to see. I'm definitely looking more into that. I think cybersecurity will prove to be pretty strong this year as well. Let's see right now. What else we want to look at? You got Dan. Yes, definitely. Yes, Dan, please let me know on that. He's talking about BBAI. Again, guys, get into the Tiger's Den. This is where all like the big conversations are happening, and I think it's fantastic. I want to talk a little bit, not to go into these kind of smaller stocks, but this is Live Person. This is one I'm watching right now. You're up 8.21%. You got 131 million market cap. Okay, small guy, obviously extraordinarily volatile. They're kind of doing, again, this AI that communicates with people, helps your customers and everything. One thing that I did find interesting about them, I'll do kind of like a DD on all their financials, kind of look at their cash position, how much they're burning. I'd assume a company like this could probably burn quite a bit. The one thing that is appealing to me, and this is something I really do like in companies, is looking at management and seeing what they've done, because financial situations at some point can be salvageable. Obviously, there's somewhere it's just impossible, and the stock's going to, the company's just going to die. But with the right management, I think it's worth that bet, right? And I've been in businesses, or whatever job where I've had bosses that aren't fantastic, and it's like, this isn't right, and I left, right? But then I've had jobs where the bosses are fantastic, and even through tough periods, I've seen it. And so with Live Person, you have a CEO, the guy is John Sabino, okay, and he was OCC for Splunk. If you're not familiar with Splunk, that was taken over by Cisco. It is great. It is a cybersecurity platform that everyone uses. And so that gives me a little bit of interest in this equity. Folks, stay right there. We're right back for a short segment.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the opening call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
In the world of trading, only a few names stand out like Larry Pesavento, a pro's pro with over 50 years of experience. Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets, with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7 right under the newsletters tab.
The reality is that navigating financial markets can be risky. Markets can be chaotic and difficult to understand. Having the latest market advice can help you turn this chaos into a key for creating winning trades. At TFNN, we understand that it can be hard to find reliable market news. That's why each of our market experts offers their very own market newsletter. A must-have tool for every trader out there striving to find an edge in today's markets. TFNN newsletters cover every aspect of the markets so you can analyze the market before you trade. Try any of our great newsletters risk-free with our 30-day money-back guarantee. Just visit the newsletters tab on the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN. Educating investors.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV.
Welcome back, everybody. Jacob Shoup, you're watching the Tom O'Brien Show. We just got a short segment here. Of course, I was talking a little bit about Live Person right now. I want to look at LTBR because that's blowing up. Again, with my, kind of strat, as I would say, with uranium, is you got to buy at these kind of low levels when the volume gets very low and it reaches kind of, near-term lows. Buy at those points, and then you got to sell on things like today, right? So, if you're up something like 27.9%, think about taking, do what you want, right? But I would take some profits here because what is this pump up on, right? It's a pump up on this news going forward with Oklo Energy. They have a memorandum of understanding, it seems like. So Oklo, that's Sam Altman's gig for SMRs to co-locate a Lightbridge commercial scale fuel fabrication facility. Okay, that's awesome, right? And I love seeing this movement forward. It seems like even though things are becoming more efficient, maybe people still want to go forward with building these SMRs, which is fine. I mean, I think on the long term, it's still a smart thing, even on a national level. But again, think about it. I mean, Oklo doesn't even have an SMR yet. How long does it take to build one of these things, right? When does something like Lightbridge's fuel, which is basically doped uranium, when does this start becoming used, right? And I mean, you can take a look at some of these other guys. I mean, UEC, right, which I have some issues with, but they have a decent runway. I mean, up 1.53% today. Okay, you know, massive gap down on this news with DeepSeek. Let's see here. You have Energy Fuels. Okay, that's off 0.36%. So this is just a momentary bump with Oklo, right? And again, I really want to stress, this is far off from being used. Lightbridge's fuel is definitely unique, right? It's a little bit more expensive than your common uranium. You know, so what I would say is, you know, be careful if you ride this up. You know, if you want kind of my thoughts on uranium, of course you can email me. I can send you kind of the paper and the strat that I follow with it. Folks, thank you so much for joining me today. It was great having Tim on. It was great having you guys here. Really appreciate it. Sometime this week, let's talk about getting a little Tiger portfolio going, right? I got all this paper money here. Folks, take care.
Building wealth